The Porta Allegra, which is formerly known as Ed's Lobster Wreck, was a dredge barge that sank in the early 1900s in a storm. It's really not that much of a wreck site, but it's really famous for its inhabitants, which are spiny lobsters, which we didn't really run into a whole lot on this trip. I got two, but they had eggs. But hopefully this is a good overview of the wreck site for you. There's not much there. So now we begin coming from the stern side of the barge, and I'm going to go all the way toward the bow down the midline of the wreck. So just came in from the stern. These are the aftmost boilers. There's 4 boilers and they're all in line. These are the aft 2 boilers, and then we have the forward 2 boilers. And my yellow bag is over there on the starboard front boiler right there. That's where I stash it when I don't find lobsters in my holes. After the boilers you have the engine. And then after the engine you have the transmission, which leads to the dredge head, the dredge cutting head. And there you have the 2 stove pipes right there, which actually sank down into the bottom to hold the dredge in place. And then forward of the stove pipes down the midline you have the dredge cutting head, which protrudes, quite a ways out into the sand. And the dredge cutting head is what did all the business on the Porta Allegra. It's what cut up the bottom and sucked up the bottom and dredged out wherever it was going to dredge. And this dredge was destined for the Panama Canal, but never made it there. Now working our way back aft along the dredge cutting head, you can see the 2 stovepipes in the distance, and I'm gonna kind of scoot on over to the starboard side of the wreck here, give you more of a starboard view. You can see the piece of gunnels remaining there in the bottom of the screen where the barge actually curved up from the bottom. You see the anchor tied in there. The anchor was tied in just forward of the transmission. Now to the right you see the engine. It's obvious, and there's little porthole structures there in the bottom of the engine, good hiding spots for spinies. And then you have the starboard boiler there. That's the starboard forward boiler and the starboard rearmost boiler. And then we're back to the back of the Porta Allegra. That's the whole wreck site. There's nothing to it. It's a square with 4 boilers, an engine and a transmission and a dredge cutting head on it. You can't navigate this dredge in low vis, and last time me and my brother were on it, we circumvented it in about 10 foot of vis and had no problem relocating the anchor. But hopefully if you watch this video before you go diving it, you get a good oversight. This is going up the port side. It's the same thing. There's the forward boiler on the port side, the engine there off to the right, transmission, and then the 2 stovepipes in the distance, you see them. Now this wreck is about 50 miles offshore. It's about 130 feet deep if you're really digging. It's the difficult part about the Porta Allegra is the boat ride out there, because it's a long way from port, whether you're going from Morehead City or Wilmington. It's a hike out there. That's Pat Carroll, one of Aquatic Safari's mates there, who's actually leading a dive this day, and here he's snapping some photos of a lionfish. He's just taking a picture of me upside down, trying to look for lobsters in the cutting head. The cutting head's a lot bigger than it looks on video, and there you can see how big it is compared to a diver. It's a pretty substantial piece of equipment. Now this is a French angelfish coming up here. Right there. It's kind of unusual to see these in North Carolina. I was trying to point out the fish to Stacy. She didn't see it, and they're very well camouflaged, these French angelfish on the wrecks. But there it is. You can see it's very well camouflaged against the wreck. So here comes my lobster fail. And actually it wasn't a fail, I apprehended this one, but it was a female with eggs. And you don't really get to see it because I didn't have the camera pointed down enough, but you can hear it squawking. Hopefully this little bugger comes out better on full screen, but that was a big lobster back here in this pipe. I won't say where the pipe's at, but that thing was huge. He was a hoss. We'll get him next time. And look at this outstanding viz. You could see, you know, the whole wreck site from almost 15 feet. It was a beautiful day.